Hi, everyone. This is Nicole Rivera, and this is the Stop Writing Alone podcast for writers who are looking for their writing community. I know you want to find readers for your work, but I think your first step is to connect with other writers. That's what we're going to do here in the Stop Writing Alone podcast. We'll do writing prompts and other writing group activities, discover online writing communities, learn how to find local writing groups, or how to make your own. Join us as we explore, learn, and write. Hi, this is Nicole Rivera, and you're listening to the Stop Writing Alone podcast. I want everyone to get their own copy of the Writer magazine, the September 2021 issue. The cover is publishing from A to Z, all the jargon, misconceptions, and pitfalls aspiring authors need to know. And I mean, it's the whole issue, the whole topic of the issue is all different ways to get published, to get your words out there, from short stories to finding an agent to making a newsletter. I mean, everything. It's all about publish. But what I love is that right when you get right inside the cover, you get past your table of contents and you flip to the letter from the editor, written by Nicki Porter. The tone of just stepping into this whole conversation about publishing is doing what we love. And she says, sometimes I wish we treated writing more like running. And I'm not going to read the entire letter to you because I want you to go get your own so that you have this as a reminder. Mine's all highlighted in different ways. But she just goes on to say, like, not just running, but like any athlete, and especially that we are in the Olympic season right now. We have the Tokyo 2021. Well, it's the 2020 Olympics that we're watching now. I'm not sure what's going on. Our delayed Olympics that we've been watching. And I picked up this magazine and started reading it, in between watching some of the gymnastics and watching some of the swimming. So I was totally in the right mindset to hear this. And so here's just a paragraph with a tip and a nod to the Olympians. It says, "Make it as a writer. Make it. What does that even mean? Even many Olympic athletes, our gold medal shooters, curlers, or javelin throwers, don't always, quote, make it. If that means earning an income, doing solely what we love. While some become celebrities who appear in Nike commercials and sponsored Instagram posts, so many other medalists return from the games to their day job or side gigs. They have proven to be the best at what they do in the world, and it still might not be enough to cover rent each month. I don't think many of us on the sidelines are walking up to Olympians and asking them if it was worth it. For that matter, I don't think many of us are asking casual runners the same thing. What's more, it's probably easier to measure an athlete's prowess than a writer's because rejections in sports are usually based off of concrete, data-driven results. Your finish time is 2 minutes longer than your competitors, ergo, you did not qualify for the finals. In publishing, you could be rejected because an editor just published a story too similar to yours, or was in a foul mood that morning, or, quote, just didn't love it enough. Where is the stopwatch or ruler for, quote, not loving something enough? So I don't really, I do totally want to read you this entire letter. But I want you I want to give credit where credit's due, and I want you to go grab a copy of this. Just because this speaks to the conversation that we often have about rejection is, rejection is redirection, and, that's not the right place for our writing. But in the end, it still sounds like the be all end all is getting it out there. And yes, we all want to be read. And yes, we want our words to be out there. But what about doing it for the love of it? What about that person? And maybe you are that person that gets up every single day to do a run. You just run outside for the love of running. Maybe it's for your health too, right? You get some other benefits. You get to be outside. You get a little alone time. Maybe you're listening to podcasts while you're running. Who knows, right? There's all these other things that you get from running. But maybe you've never even been in a marathon, or maybe you haven't signed up for a 5K, because it's not about that. It's about the love of the running. How many people out there have that love for writing and have to sit there in the battle every single time they say that they're a writer, because people want to know, what marathon were you in? What 5K did you run? Where is your work that I can read it? Well, maybe it's about something else, and that's okay. And that's not only okay, that's amazing. It's one of these things that comes to culture and society that I think people who either are not writers themselves or creatives, or are not surrounded by them, simply fail to understand. And it's really interesting that Nicki Porter has put this parallel to writing versus athleticism, because for some reason our culture does see that love in athletes and gets it, that so many people are going to play basketball and absolutely love it, and that's cool, and they have maybe no aspirations to be in the NBA, or they're not going to make it, but that doesn't make them less of like an amazing basketball player in every game you've ever seen them play. It's okay for them to play basketball because they want to, not because they need to. And that's, what many writers do. They want to write because they want to. But for some reason, that doesn't translate in the same way to our friends and family. So Nicki Porter ends off the letter by saying, "My best advice when questioned about your desire to pursue writing is to simply say, because I need to, and try, if at all possible, to shake off the need for loved ones' approval and understanding. You are a writer, no matter if you've never published a word, so long as you've written one, because a runner is someone who wakes up and chooses running, even when they've had a long day, even when it's hard, even when they feel like they've plateaued, they keep running. An ice skater wakes up and chooses skating. A swimmer wakes up and chooses to swim. And every day you wake up and you choose writing. Being a writer is as simple and as difficult as that." Couldn't have said it better myself. I absolutely love that. And like I said, I think one of the things that I truly love about this particular letter from the editor is that it is in the issue called Publishing from A to Z. It is that issue that for the people who love to write, that show up to the page all the time and haven't published, haven't submitted, and maybe have no desire to, they start to question. And I've worked with writers like this before that, they're just writing, they're enjoying the process of writing, and whenever the conversation about submission or publishing comes up, there's the imposter syndrome comes in hardcore. Like, well, maybe I shouldn't be working this hard on my writing. Why not? The runner just keeps showing up every single morning to do their run. Why not show up every single day to do your writing? If it's something you enjoy, if it's something you want, if it gives you all those wonderful benefits that, any exercise would. I think that was fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you this week because it was one of those reads that just gave me the warm and fuzzies, and I just wanted everybody to have the same warm and fuzzies. And while I won't read the whole thing to you, I'm just going to read the highlighted lines that I have here. Aside from the paragraph that I just read to you, I have lines that are all tweetable, quotable, put them on the gram. Here we go. It says, in what other endeavor in life are we so preoccupied with whether something is, quote, good right out of the gate? Oh, come on. I love that. This is why I always say that writing reminds me of my son first learning how to walk, right? Because when you first get started walking, you're stumbling all over the place and people are clapping for you, because it's like, oh, you tried to walk. That's amazing. Look at those first steps. Oh, you fell down. Oh my goodness. But you took 2 steps. I feel like that's how we should look at writing when we first start writing and everything is a hot mess. The words are falling all over the page. You find that turn of phrase or that voice or whatever tiny little bit, those 2 steps forward, the stumble to the right place, and you celebrate that, because why wouldn't you? That is the beginning. And every time you get a little bit better and get a little bit better, you celebrate again. Okay, next highlighted piece. It says, finishing is cause enough for celebration. Hell yes. Hell yes. If you have finished any piece of writing, whether it is a complete short story, a complete poem, I don't think I need to tell you, people out there that have finished a novel, that finishing is cause for celebration. But in case you have not celebrated, in case you're still thinking of all the things you haven't done, please, please, please tattoo this on your arm. Finishing is cause enough for celebration. That's like, hello, for sure. Okay, next one. To enjoy writing should be reason enough to write. Done. It's like a no-brainer. But it's really funny when you see those things in print and you read it and you're like, yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely true. That is enough. And my final one that I highlighted here in the letter, it says, if only it were as simple for writers to embrace their craft the way we do other pursuits. If only it were as simple for their loved ones to do the same. And that's when she comes to the end, really talking about how we can speak to our loved ones about this. And it's true. And like I said, I really appreciate that she wrote this in the publishing issue, because I think that's when you really have to stop and remind yourself that, embrace the craft the same way you would any other pursuit, and love it in that space. Really, really wonderful stuff. So again, this is page 2 of the September 2020 issue of the Writer magazine. And really what this is also is a reminder for you to always read the letters from the editor, no matter what magazine you're reading. I think it's, particularly as writers, I think that's a beautiful space to sort of look at how the editors envision the issue. So if you have any magazine, even, a Real Simple is a magazine all about how's the stuff in the home and, your simple life. They usually have, most magazines have a whole theme that they are going for. And sometimes we don't even realize it. We pick up a magazine for a particular article, or, we know that there's going to be one interview in there that we want to see. But the whole team got together and organized this whole issue around something. And that letter from the editor is usually one of 2 things. It's either, as we saw in this letter, kind of like a reaching out to the audience and I love letters to the editor that are like this, that it's like, I know what you're about to read is going to make you feel a certain way. So let me just talk to you face to face. Let me sit with you about this before we get in. And I love that. Or it's, the editor really talking about the inspiration for the theme, the through threads, what they are hoping, the picture that you'll see if you go from cover to cover. I mean, not many people sit with magazines and go cover to cover. So it's a real wonderful opportunity to get a behind the scenes look at the vision that was put into the creation of the magazine. And I think as writers in particular, that is a really, really important the vision to see, to start to look at publications in a way that we're not only looking at the solitary pieces, but we're also getting a comprehension of how they were envisioned and how they were put together and the various themes that are throughout. So, so that was it for this week. I just wanted to share that with you. And happy August. We are in our 8th month of this year. I cannot believe it. For many of you, I know it is back to school time. For us here in New York, we still have another month until that happens, but I hope all is going well for that transition to whatever way your schools are handling that, if that is a part of your life and your family's life. I'm wishing you all the best of luck with that as we head into this new year. And otherwise, I will talk to you next week. And don't forget to reach out to me in all the different places. Social media, on Instagram, I'm at Stop Writing Alone. There has been a little bit of growth over on the Stop Writing Alone Facebook group, and I hope that's from you listeners out there, where I told you that it's more of a community on Facebook, where it's not just me putting a post up there, but there's also an opportunity for you as well. So the conversation keeps growing over there, and I love that. And of course, you can always reach me on the Stop Writing Alone hotline. Should I call it something else? Do we even use the term hotline anymore? I have no idea. That's 646-907-9607. You can leave me a voicemail there. And I haven't heard from anybody yet that I can think of, about last week's episode, about my run through of all of the panels, and if there was one in particular that you wanted more of. So if you haven't listened to that episode yet, I believe it was episode 132, go ahead and give it a listen. I have my whole notebook ready to go if there's anything you want me to do a deep dive on. And then I'll see you over on YouTube on Friday. Every single Friday, I do Friday Night Writes. Share a video with a writing prompt or a writing exercise so that you can get some words on the page. And now, as we spoke of today, that could just be for the love of it, which is mostly when I do prompts, what ends up happening. And I think that's it. Oh, no, one more place. Every single Monday, these are our summer hours over on Clubhouse. I host a room with my Stop Dreaming Alone ladies. This is my mastermind group of ladies that we've been supporting each other for, it's got to be like 3 years now. Bananas when I think about that. But last week in our room, we were talking about the law of attraction because Kim Floden, who's one of my chicas over there, picked up the book, The Law of Attraction by, I want to say it's Michael Lozier, I think is his name. Oh, I hope it's Michael. And it's, the law of attraction, you've heard it in so many different places, there's all different books on it. She, in particular, really enjoyed this book because it was very simple and she liked the worksheets and the exercises that came along with it. So in our group, the whole conversation of the law of attraction got re-simmered. So last week's Clubhouse, we did an entire chat about the law of attraction. And we all sort of settled on this, this idea that all of this talk about the law of attraction is great. However, and it's really important for changing mindset. However, if you don't follow it up with action, with actually putting things into implementation, then, it gets you nowhere. So this week's chat, which is going to be on August 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern on Clubhouse, our topic, I should say, is the law of action, and talking about those moments and that fear and everything that happens when you do have to take the new action to get to the next place in your journey, whatever that is, whether it be writing, creativity, entrepreneurship, solopreneurship. So yeah, we always have some very cool people show up in the room, and it's really been some beautiful conversations because they've been small rooms, and I love the intimacy of it. So I'll put the link in the show notes if you want to come on over, because now Clubhouse is no longer invite only. It is open to everyone. So you don't even need an invite from me. If you want to come on Clubhouse, there's an app. You download Clubhouse app. And I think actually the link will take you straight there. Like if you follow the link for the room. But these, in case you're not familiar, I did do an episode on Clubhouse many, many moons ago. Clubhouse is a live audio experience. So when I have these chats on Monday, for me, Monday mornings at 11 a.m., they happen for that hour. They're not recorded. They just happen in real time. We are talking one-on-one. It's not a face-to-face thing. No video, just our audio. And that's it. When it ends, it's over. It's all gone. And I hope you took notes if you needed to. All right, so that's my last place. You got me on YouTube, you got me on Instagram, you got me, I'm over on Twitter at NV_Rivera, and Facebook at Stop Writing Alone. And now you know to come over to Clubhouse if you want to chat. Have a wonderful week. I will talk to you next Thursday here on the podcast. Happy writing. Enjoy. Do what you love.